So, I've always been a really, really big fan of Kanye West. And no, I'm not a fan of Kanye West in a way that conservatives are suddenly a fan of his work. I mean, I literally bought all of his fucking albums. And I continued to buy them long after reasonable people stopped buying CDs. And I still have them for some reason as well. I mean, like, this is an album that basically shaped my teenage years, and I learned the hard way that when you buy music from Walmart, they edit out all the curse words, so that kind of fucked up the experience for me. But nonetheless, long story short, I'm a big fan of Kanye West, a genuine fan. So with that being said, this gives me no pleasure to say this: Kanye West has lost his goddamn mind. Now, as I say that, I kind of question, did he ever really have it? Because, I mean, he's said really nonsensical things before that are just idiotic, but I kind of dismiss them and chalk them up to him trying to be edgy or maybe convey his ideas in a more abstract way. But it's very clear to me that he's not just some misunderstood genius. This is an individual that's just really, really lost. And as someone who previously, again, loved Kanye West's work, it's sad to see this happen. So by now you all know that he recently appeared on SNL, and after the show cut and the cameras stopped rolling apparently, he went on this weird pro-Trump rant. He donned a MAGA hat and was just spewing nonsense. Now, we don't know everything that was said. However, Chris Rock was reportedly in the audience, and he was able to capture some of what Kanye said on film, and he thankfully put it up on Instagram for all of us to see. And the video was kind of choppy, so bear with me, but we kind of get a sense of what Kanye was talking about, and it was so weird.
Try love, try love, try love. You see, they laughing at me. You heard them, they scream at me. They bully me. They bullied me backstage. They said, don't go out there with that hat on. They bullied me backstage. They bully me. And then they say I'm in a sunken place. You want to see the sunken place? Okay, I'm going to listen to y'all now. Or I'm going to put my Superman cape on. Because this means you can't tell me what to do. Follow your heart and stop following your mind. That's how we're controlled. That's how we're programmed. If you want the world to move forward, try love. Thank y'all for giving me this platform. I know some of y'all don't agree, but y'all be going at that man neck a lot, and I don't think it's actually that helpful. I think the universe has balance. 90% of news are liberal. 90% of TV, LA, New York, writers, rappers, musicians. So it's easy to make it seem like it's so one-sided. And I felt kind of free. I thought this country said I could be me. I love me too. I wanna cry right now. Black man in America, supposed to keep what you feel inside right now. And the liberals, blacks weren't always never present. You know, it's like a plan they did to take the fathers out of the home and promote welfare. Does anybody know about that? That's a Democratic plan. And so many times I talk to like a white person about this and they say, how could you like Trump? He's racist. Well, if I was concerned about racism, I would have moved out of America a long time ago. We don't just make out a soldier. And that inspires me. And when I said I'm running 2020, all my smart friends, now you got a situation where we need to have a dialogue and not a diatribe.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
So that was pretty difficult to understand what he was saying, but I do have the transcript. He made up this really weird, insane conspiracy theory about Democrats, and I'm obviously not an individual who is inclined to defend Democrats, but here I have no choice. So he said, the blacks want always Democrats. You know, it's like the plan they did to take fathers out the home and put them on welfare. Does anybody know about that? That's a Democrat plan. Kanye, what the fuck are you talking about? All you have to do to dismiss this conspiracy theory is kind of think through it logically for a few seconds. What incentive would Democrats have for this? It's an insane conspiracy theory that makes absolutely no sense. And think about this, he said crazy things before in his music that we all just kind of, explained away and dismissed, like in, what's the name of it? I have the CDs here. Oh, this is all fucked up, it's hard to see. Okay, so in the song Heard 'Em Say with Adam Levine, remember that song? He had this line that was kind of peculiar, that he didn't quite explain, and I know the government administered AIDS. So did the government, create AIDS in a laboratory? See, this is what happens when you allow people to spew bullshit for so long and let them go unchecked. It gets to a point where, it just kind of boils over and they reach a level of insanity that just is mind-boggling. And, after he appeared on SNL, he also tweeted out an image of him with a MAGA hat. So this is just, it's sad, right? As a Kanye fan, it's really sad because this is an individual who I really respected, and to see him fall, not just because I disagree with him politically, but he's saying very nonsensical things. He is supporting Trump when he spoke out against Bush. He famously said during his coverage of Hurricane Katrina, or during coverage of Hurricane Katrina, rather, that George Bush doesn't care about black people. Kanye, how does Trump care about black people? What is he doing to help black people? Explain that, Kanye. What policies has he specifically signed into law that help members of marginalized communities? He's doing everything that benefits the rich because he's rich. And maybe you like that, Kanye, because you're rich, but just because you're rich and you like Donald Trump doesn't mean that everyone else is doing okay because the rich is doing really well under Donald Trump. We're all hurting. Normal Americans are hurting, Kanye, and you're not talking to them. You're living in your ivory tower with your millions of dollars, eating caviar and doing whatever bullshit rich people do, smelling their own farts maybe, and you don't have to deal with the real world consequences that result from the Republican Party's policy. You don't have to deal with that. You don't. You're not seeing the devastation and destruction from the wars and the U.S. empire that Trump is expanding and all the people that he's killing in the Middle East and North Africa. But out of sight, out of mind. Ignorance is bliss. If you don't know about that, you could just, cheerlead Donald Trump because I guess he knew Donald Trump beforehand and they were friends. It's just sad. Kanye is a really big idiot, and now I can't even enjoy his music, not because I disagree with him politically, but because whatever he's saying, I can't explain away some of the more abstract, vague, and amorphous lyrics by just saying, oh, that Kanye, he's so kooky. No, because this is someone who is very lost, who is not thinking rationally like a normal human being, and it's really sad. It's sad. I'm going to keep the CDs because those ones are good, but I don't know if I could listen to them for a while. It's going to take time. You hurt me, Kanye. You really hurt me with this fucking bullshit and just the constant bombardment of stupidity that his fans have been hit with. I mean, Jesus. Get it together, dude. Get your shit together.
Support this podcast by becoming a patron at patreon.com/Humanist Report.